Hey folks, before we get started today, let me let you in on a secret. Too many people in the world today, because they have one of these. They have a smartphone in their hand. They think they're a photographer. Guess what? They're not a photographer. You know what they are? They're a person with a smartphone in their hand. Our photographer has professional equipment, whether it's the cameras, the lighting, etc. But more importantly, they have the education and the experience to capture the exact moment, the only time that moment is available. It's exactly where we are today here on the show with a real live professional photographer. Her name is Karen Vaisman. Her company, Karen Vaisman Photography. Karen, how are you?
Very good. Hi, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me rant there for a little bit. I get tired of so many people with phones that think that they're you, and they're nothing like you. So that was my words, not yours. So I wanted to get that out there to start. So let me back up a little bit. Long before you were a well-established professional photographer, were you always that person, little Karen back in the day? Were you always walking around with a camera taking pictures, or when did you first fall in love with photography?
I was about 13. My dad gave me a camera, and I started bringing it to school, and everybody thought the strap grew out of the back of my neck.
So it really has been that. I love that. And so at some point, you got the camera, you got the strap growing out of the back of your neck, you're loving what you're doing, people are loving the end results of what you're doing, and you skewed to the point to where I want to go further with this in my life. Talk to me about your educational background. It's very impressive.
Well, in school, I was the yearbook photographer and head of the photography club. Then when I graduated, I went to Syracuse University and also Rochester Institute of Technology, home of Kodak. And I've got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in photography. That's where I started doing Cibochrome, black and white darkroom, way before the days of digital. And then as soon as Photoshop hit the scene, I self-taught everything. So I learned studio photography, and, I started with flowers, trees, mountains, and then I graduated over to people, fell in love with people photography, and now I specialize in professional headshots.
Professional headshots. Now let's go into that. I want to go a couple of directions on the headshots. First of all, frankly, there's other people out there that do professional headshots. You're a little bit unique. What makes you more unique than other people attempting to do the same thing?
Well, I focus on wanting to make everybody look their absolute best. And I taught myself the skills in Photoshop and perfected them over the years. So between the professional gear and the lighting and the posing, I focus on connecting with people, getting them really comfortable in front of the camera. And I do that over the telephone before we even get into the studio, get them comfortable with me. And I say, this is what we're going to do while we're shooting. We're going to have a great conversation, feel comfortable. And then after we do the shoot, I will retouch the picture in such a way so that it is very natural. I have the art background and the art skills to create something that looks like them, but the best of them. And I get so excited when people call me up and they're extremely thrilled with how their pictures turned out.
Well, they're not only telling you about it, they're telling everybody about it, because your online reviews, whether it's Google, Yelp, or whatever, they're just off the charts, and that has to be a big component of your success. Is that fair enough? But your totally independent reviews out there, you don't have to just do anything. You can say, don't listen to me, listen to these people. Does that work for you from a business?
Yeah, usually when I get a phone call, I say, how did you hear about me? And people have seen me on Google reviews and Yelp reviews. And yeah, they do the selling for me, because it comes from my heart. I want to make sure everybody leaves feeling great about themselves. And those Yelp reviews pretty much, they speak volumes. I just had a woman come down. She flew down from San Francisco because she wanted me and my retouching skills to make her look beautiful, and she left absolutely thrilled.
Boom. There you go. Not everybody can say that.
It's very rewarding.
I think something else is extremely rewarding. It should be, and it just makes you ready for the next one to go out there and do it even further. Looking at the notes today, quite honestly, Karen, something that seemed rather unique to me, and probably goes on in the initial phone call when you're talking, you're there to help people, give them some advice, professional advice from your experience on hair, makeup, and wardrobe too. That's a critical part of what you do.
Oh, on the telephone, I give them guidance on color, background, what to wear, how to avoid moire patterns caused by digital cameras. I give them all the ins and outs. I want them to feel very comfortable, because being in front of the lens is very intimidating. And everybody said it took a lot of bravery to pick up the phone to call me. But they said, my boss needs a picture. I need to have this picture. Can you help me? And the reason I do what I do is because I help people. I help people feel comfortable, and I help people look great. And that's what makes me love what I do.
Okay, here's the other piece I want to talk about regarding headshots. Back in the day, everybody thought, well, the only people that needs a headshot is an actor or an actress. Everybody needs them these days. Who all do you work with, and why is it so critically important, anybody that gets a headshot, to go to someone like you to make them look as great as possible?
Well, in our social media world, everybody needs an online presence. They all need a brand, and they need to look as great as they possibly can. And I explain to them what I do with the retouching. Aside from getting the posing and capturing that natural expression in front of the camera, that's key, and that comes from the personal interaction and actually liking the person you're working with. Afterwards, getting rid of double chins, under eye circles, stray hairs. I can slenderize people in the camera, do it very subtly and gently so that it still looks like them, but it looks like the best they can possibly look. I can get rid of gray hairs. I can do dental work, help people with their teeth, orthodontia, everything in the computer. I even add eyelashes. Nowadays, where people are afraid to go to the makeup artist because of COVID, I can do digital makeup, and I do digital eyelashes, and it changes the way the person looks.
Hey, Karen, I'm asking for a friend. I have a friend of mine that has a television talk show. All right, are you able to do anything with video? I'm joking with you on that. I could use that expertise myself. I think the bottom line is this: you don't have to be an actor or an actress. If you're going to go for a job, you got to turn in a headshot. Why not turn in the best one you can? And so many people think they can take a selfie with the aforementioned cell phone and turn it in, cut the boyfriend out of the picture, and here I am. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that at all.
They don't realize that the lenses on the cell phones stretch your face and distort your face, give you a wide nose.
Oh my, that explains a lot. Thank you for that tip. I appreciate it. I need to go back and look at my social media pages after we get done with the interview today. So how's business going in this crazy pandemic world? How has that impacted you? Is everything going okay?
Well, I'm only accepting vaccinated clients right now because I want to be extra safe. I've set up my studio as a COVID safe environment. I remodeled my studio in the garage with the door open with HEPA filters and so forth blowing. So it's cut down my volume because I have to turn away some people who aren't vaccinated. But the people that I do help, the business is wonderful.
Good for you.
They've been calling me all the way through COVID, and I was shut down for a while because I was trying to be safe. But now that things have picked up and things are looking better with the vaccine, I'm more than happy to work with vaccinated clients.
Well, I certainly know that there's a large portion of the market out there that absolutely appreciates that extra step that you've taken. And that's going to go just as another reason to enhance your all-important Google and Yelp reviews, too. I'm sure that that's been mentioned a time or two. Is it going to sway you a different direction from others, adding to the uniqueness of everything you bring to the professional photography profession out there? So I kudos to you on all that stuff. It's just a great story. Who knew little 13-year-old Karen back in the day would be where you are now? I think you probably knew, and it's really neat to see. By golly, it actually happened. Thanks for being with us today. It's a wonderful story, and we wish you all the best. Take care.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful.